right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Motor City Uncut, episode 143, presented by the Major Sports Network Detroit. I'm your host, Dorf, joined each and every week by Major Sports Network founder, Avery Hernandez. And, no, we're not going with the usual joke here. Shawn Bell, over here to my left, wearing a purple Pirates hat, because I know why.
We could say it.
Yeah, you can. No.
Assistant baseball coach at Ann Arbor Pioneer High School.
I think we said it last week.
Yeah, we said it so many times.
Yeah. Anyway.
I wasn't going to say the coach thing. I was just going to say the Pioneer hat.
Yeah, I'm supporting the high school, right?
Now you just made him lose his job.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Doxed him. Is yours the classic Tigers hat? Is that what that is?
Yes, I have the night. Well, I guess technically this is
The first Tigers hat that they wore in like 1901, I believe.
I like it.
You can't really get a good look at it. Let's see if I can adjust the camera here.
Duck your head down.
There we go.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a tiger. It looks like
a lion.
It looks like a house cat.
It was drawn by an artist who had never actually seen a tiger before.
Which I've never really. It's funny to think.
Oh, no hitter gone. Oh
well.
So Rockies Kyle Freeland had a no hitter through 8 1/3. Melky Cabrera, that bastard, broke it up. So, had 3 walks going on like 119 pitches heading to the 9th inning. Now that it's gone, I wonder if they let him finish.
Complete game.
Complete game shutout.
Complete game shutout.
He's at like 130 pitches. Man.
Yeah, he's up there.
Let him
They're
finish.
pulling him right now.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
No, smart play.
Just let him try. Just one more.
Smart play. All right. Anyway, moving on. First topic on our.
You know what though? Is it not surprising that it was Melky Cabrera? It seems like Melky Cabrera is the guy that would do something like that. Just shit on everybody's
I probably would have
parade.
walked him.
Dude, it was a liner to left. Like
Actually, it hit off of Story's glove. It looked like, or Arenado's. I can't remember who it was.
No, it didn't. It was,
you sure?
It was a liner.
He's probably juicing. That's probably what happened.
It was a bleeding liner to left. It wasn't like stroked, but it wasn't a blooper either. Anyway, first topic that we're going to discuss here tonight. Pistons have decided to make a trade. That's sending Marcus Morris to the Boston Celtics for guard Avery Bradley and a second rounder next year. Is that what it was? Because there was a pick involved too.
I believe so.
This year was a second rounder too. Second rounder next year. I would argue a good deal for both sides. Boston wasn't going to be able to afford to keep him around. At the same time, they got depth at a position they needed it at. That would be acquiring Marcus Morris. Pistons at the same time got a little bit of relief of the financial logjam of having to max deal KCP. Now you have a guy who I would argue is KCP, but like better. And you don't have to...
A lot better.
There's no doubt about it. He's way better.
And you don't have to make that financial decision on... Well, Bradley will probably command close to similar numbers next season.
But have a higher percentage of shooting, I bet.
But he plays on both sides of the court.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he's a better shooter than KCP and a better defender. So... And cheap for this year. Not only that, you also kind of remove that logjam at the power forward position where you're not going to have to play somebody out of position, which can allow Tobias Harris back into the starting lineup. Get more minutes for KCP, and you might actually see Henry Ellenson for more than like 2 minutes this year. So, who, by the way, is lighting up the Summer League quite a bit. Well, actually, the Summer League's over now. The Orlando Summer League's over. So, led the team in scoring down there. Good for him. So, just without looking at the numbers, just the eye test. Let's think of this as a direct trade, KCP and Marcus Morris for Avery Bradley and a pick. Is that a good return for you? Are the Pistons a better team now? Are they set up bet? Because I don't think anybody would argue that they're not exactly set up to win next year. Are they a better organization now into the future as a result of this trade?
I think it possibly puts you in a better position to be a better team in the future. Because what this does is, look, Bradley obviously can walk at the end of the year, and he's gonna demand a nice,
a hefty chunk of change.
Yes, he is. However, Detroit now has the advantage to sit there and try to woo him the entire year to stay in Detroit and sign on
Long term.
However, if things don't work out, if it collapses around him,
Cool.
you have, and he still has a good year, you have a trade chip now
At the deadline.
at the deadline who you can get a possibly nice return for. I liked Marcus Morris. I did.
Nice player.
I thought he was a nice player. He's a nice role player. The problem though with Marcus Morris is I think Deadspin summed it up perfectly with Marcus Morris. I think Marcus Morris thought he was more than what he actually was. Wasn't a terribly good 3-point shooter. Wasn't a
Took a
terribly
ton of threes.
wasn't a terribly good guy in the paint either when it came to rebounding. He was a decent player, but certainly not the type of player you're getting in return.
He was a
Avery Bradley.
6'7" small forward that needed to play power forward but couldn't.
Essentially, yes.
With the athletic skills of a power forward.
And everybody who's been hating on Stan Van Gundy this offseason and perhaps beyond, this is something that you have to give him credit for here because he saw the
nice deal.
He saw the situation happening in Boston.
It took advantage of them
yes,
selling.
they signed Gordon Hayward without taking into consideration the cap space that they didn't have to do to make that swing, and they got Avery Bradley out of it. I think that's something that people need to give Stan Van Gundy a hand for. And this is one of the reasons why I think that the Pistons have Stan Van Gundy in this position. Since, being able to identify something like that, make the call, execute, and get your guy in return for it. So
Absolutely. So better team as a result. I just kind of put together a projected rotation here. I went 12 deep. I'm still not settled on who's going to be starting at point guard, whether it be Reggie Jackson or Ish Smith. Whoever that will be, the other one will be arguably the first guard off the bench. So one of the two of them will be in the lineup. Your starting two guard will be then Avery Bradley. You have Harris at the 3, Lure at the 4, Drummond at the 5. It's not great. It ain't awful. Let's put it that way. First guy off the bench for the loser of the Ish Smith, Reggie Jackson deal. First round pick Luke Kennard next. Ellenson, the first big off the bench after that. Stanley Johnson, I would argue, would probably be the 9th guy. Your backup center would be Boban Marjanovic. Your other free agent signing, Langston Galloway, would probably be the 11th guy. He's your 5th guard. And Reggie Bullock after that, assuming he makes the team, even though he is suspended to start the season. So
there's been a lot of talk too that Eric Moreland is going to be the team's 3rd center.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
That he is going to make the team, and he is going to be the team's 3rd center.
At the same time, they currently don't have any other centers on the roster.
No, they don't. They don't.
He might be it. It's just fine. He's going to play like once a week for 10 minutes. Hey, Sean, turn your phone off.
My bad.
We're trying to be professional here. What kind of ringtone is that?
My bad. See, with this lineup, would be the smart lineup to go for.
You just don't think it's going to happen?
I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, I guarantee. Well, I think Van Gundy's going to come out and have Harris at the point guard and actually have Stanley Johnson starting at small forward. I mean, at power forward, not point guard. Power forward for Harris. And then have Stanley Johnson at small forward.
With the amount that John Lord played last year...
I totally agree. I think he should be our starting power forward. If this is say, the roster, definitely. I agree with you, but I just don't see that happening. Because you know how Stan Van Gundy, he likes... with this team, you can tell it's more of...
It's all about getting shooters around Drummond in the middle.
Right.
And this is your best lineup of shooters. So, the only thing that... You might see Ellenson in the starting lineup instead of Lure, but that's it.
Yeah.
Which would be really, really surprising to me, considering how little Ellenson played last year.
Right.
But a lot of that logjam is now alleviated by not having to play Tobias Harris out of position.
Exactly.
At all. So,
I think Tobias Harris is going to have a big year.
I hope so.
Just because of that. So
she's going to get the ball more.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be honest, how I see it, this team, I know how everybody's like, we got to surround Drummond with players. I'm like, no, I think Harris is the guy that we need to surround. To be honest,
I mean, you do have to surround Drummond with players.
No, for sure.
And I think we've seen a very real game plan this offseason, whether it was drafting of Luke Kennard and going out and getting Avery Bradley. I think those are two moves by this team and Stan Van Gundy with a real direction in mind. And again, something that we didn't see when in the latter years of Joe Dumars' tenure here. We see them going out and getting shooters and doing exactly what Stan Van Gundy's system calls for here in Detroit.
Yes.
Which is having your big man and surrounding him with shooters. Now, albeit I still hope that they get rid of Andre Drummond at some point.
Yes, absolutely.
But this right now, what we have here is probably the best recipes for success that we're going to get with these players in hand right now. If they're able to unload Drummond sooner rather than later,
that'd be awesome.
That is going to benefit this team wholeheartedly moving along. But until then, this is the best that we've gotten. And as far as Reggie Jackson and Ish Smith goes, I think Reggie Jackson probably gets the start.
For sure, he's going to get the start
at the beginning of the regular season.
You're probably right.
Knowing what Ish Smith can do.
You have a fallback scenario.
Exactly.
Ish Smith, the Pistons were something like 28 points better per 100 possessions than Ish Smith on the floor. I don't think that's something you can deny. However, I would argue that the salary and politics of the issue, Jackson will start the season.
And that's in Dorf. I know that's something that we always talk about numbers. We always whether it's whether it's here at work or whatever. We always talk about the numbers of the game, and whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever. You're never going to be able to get around the money thing.
No doubt about it.
Owners, general managers want to
justify their investment.
Yes, they want to justify that investment into that guy that they're paying the most out of anybody else on the team. And it doesn't matter if somebody happens to post better numbers than somebody else. That person that is earning that bigger contract is going to get the benefit of the doubt in most circumstances. Hell, that's why we saw Joe Nathan still going out there and closing out games when it was obviously clear that he couldn't do it anymore. But they were paying the guy a lot of money, and they wanted to give it a go as long as they possibly could. And
then you could argue 2 months too long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing with K-Rod this last season.
Yep.
Although he was acquired via trade and not a free agent signing, same principle.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say about the Pistons, guys, before we move on? Okay.
I'm looking forward. Just say that. I'm looking forward. I love the Avery Bradley deal.
It's going to be an interesting season.
I'm looking forward to it. I think that's something that can get people interested again into...
Make basketball fun again.
Make basketball fun again in the Metro Detroit area is doing something like that.
All right, so before we move on to our next topic, I'm going to take a moment here to let you guys know about something here. We do now have here with the Major Sports Network have a Patreon. For those who are unfamiliar with Patreon, it's just a crowdfunding way or crowdfunding site that allows you to support creators that you enjoy on a monthly or per creation basis. We do have ours set up as a monthly donation, monthly pledge. So if you do get some entertainment out of the various podcasts here across the network, all along with Empire Media, we just ask that you would consider going on Patreon.com and giving us a monthly pledge of whatever you'd like, whatever you deem it's worth, so we can help keep this going and we continue to invest in upgrades and equipment and just the other expenses associated with running a podcast and keeping the website network up and running. So that's patreon.com/themajors. Link to that is also available on our website. So, all right, next topic. Tigers first half review. Oh boy. They are currently not. Their final game of the first half is tonight against the Cleveland Indians. That is the duel between Michael Fulmer and Michael Fulmer and Corey Kluber.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Regardless, the best they can finish tonight is 9 games under 500 and 7.5 out of the division.
Yes.
If they win tonight, it's 9.5 and 7. 9 below, 7.5 out, or it's 10 below and 8.5 out.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that in mind, we're not going to give a team grade just yet. We're going to go through a couple different things first. Before we go any further, the top 5 guys, we're going to go around the table here, just one guy at a time. Top 5 guys that are meeting or exceeding your preseason expectations for this team this year. If you don't have 5, that's okay. So even if we have some overlap. So I'm gonna start with Adam. Who is the number 1 guy to you that is exceeding your expectations to them set forth in the preseason?
Alex Avila.
Well, duh. Okay. So Alex Avila. Sean, what about you?
Michael Fulmer.
Michael Fulmer. Okay, that's also not a bad pick. I'm going to take the cop out, and I'm going to go Alex Avila as well. All right, number 2. We'll go backwards. Sean, you first. Who's your second guy?
Justin Upton.
God damn it. I can't have an original thought here. That's yours.
Michael Fulmer.
Well, that's not that bad. You're not stealing it from me before I'm about to say it. I'm going to go GA up 2. Third. Adam, back to you.
Justin Upton.
Sean.
James McCann when he's healthy.
I think you're silly. Mine, Justin Wilson. Next, Adam, you got.
How recently can we go here?
Are they overall, as an overall perspective, are they meeting or exceeding your expectations? Define that how you will.
Let's see. JD Martinez.
Okay, and you know what? That's fine. He's got just under 1,000 OPS, and has been just mashing since he's been healthy. Fair. Sean, what about you?
Justin Wilson. So obviously he's put in a position that he was not ready for.
Yeah.
That's how I see it, and he's succeeding. You know,
done well.
yeah. So.
All right, my pleasant surprise this season. I'm gonna nominate Warwick Soppold. Fine job eating innings out of the bullpen. Tigers have been kind of, gotten blown out early in some games, and guess what? He'll come in and give you 3 innings of no-run ball and give you a chance to crawl back in instead of making it worse. So,
cool.
Warwick Soppold, exceeding my expectations for him at the beginning of the year. All right, number 5 on this list. Adam, we'll go with you first.
Recently he's been impressing me, and that's Mickey Matuk.
Matuk, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, no, he's hitting like 270 in the year now.
Yep.
Not a bad player.
Again, especially too when the season that he had in Tampa Bay before he came to Detroit.
It's good fun.
I mean, he had a Mike Trout first season.
Yes.
Let's make a name. Let's make Alex Sanchez.
Alex Sanchez.
Lawrence Lombard.
Alex Sanchez second season, and then he's leveled out pretty nicely this year when given the opportunity.
He's a former first-round pick. People do forget that. Sean, what about you?
John Hicks. Having him come up and
It's a travesty that he doesn't play more.
I know, and he's done what we expected, and for all the times he's been called up, and obviously he had that little 7-day disabled list or whatever, but he's been pretty solid.
All right, my last guy on my list is actually going to be Dixon Machado, hitting like 315.
He had his first home run the other day.
Yeah, first career home run the other day. Hey guys, 315 with power and slick glove, or empty 260. Play him every day. Excuse me. I come out. All right. Next little activity we're going to do here. 5 guys that are failing.
I have like a list of 10?
Can I give an honorable mention?
Sure, absolutely.
I want to give an honorable mention to Animal Sanchez.
Yeah, he's been solid.
He's been solid since he's come back from the minors, and I think people, after everything that happened with K-Rod, I'm hoping Tigers fans can appreciate what Animal Sanchez offered to do for this team. He did it. It seemed to have worked out, and he's back doing
what?
By the way, if you're watching the Futures game right now, Tigers prospect Jair Laporte's on the mound.
All right.
After Bo Burrows pitched a, quote, nasty inning earlier today.
Yeah, he did. It looked really good.
So, yeah, Laporte's on the mound right now for the World Team, who is trailing Team USA 7-4 in the 7th.
Oh, World Team's coming back.
Well, yeah, the only problem is the...
Who's Laporte from Dominican?
I don't know.
I think he is.
You're probably not wrong.
Is that the go-to on anything?
I was about to ask if this was Dante Bichette's son.
It is Dante Bichette. He's got 2 sons in the minor leagues. Currently, I think is that Bo or I forget which one. There's another one that's in the Yankees system.
This
who's not very good, and then this is the one that's actually good.
Just go with the Dominican.
Okay.
That's where he's from.
God, that's nasty. 97 out of the high three
Dominican.
quarters.
I see the flag on his shirt. Or his jersey, excuse me.
There you go.
You know what I don't like?
What's that?
I don't like how they had the logos take on the Marlins colors. They should have just kept the logos as the regular color.
Wow, the changeup just moved like a foot and a half.
Hey, I'm talking about the logos here. Okay?
Yeah, do not distract Adam when it comes to logos and jerseys.
He is a logo Nazi. I know.
I want to see that again. I missed it.
That was a nasty changeup, man.
And the angle that he throws too, it's very deceptive.
Yeah, so Laporte struck out the only batter he faced. The guy ahead of him walked 2 guys and got 2 others out before Laporte took over.
When can we call up Laporte?
Tomorrow?
Next year, when we start fresh.
I hope that he's in if once they blow it up, he's in the pen by the
Well, look at the guy who he's facing. I think he's.
It's like Babyface McGee.
Is he still in? Is he? See, he has homework. He probably has summer school to go to.
Oh man, you're mean. Actually,
Sorry.
I think that guy's in Double A. They're both in Double A.
Whatever.
All right, 5 players failing to meet expectations. Go around the table. Sean, you first.
Justin Verlander.
Enough said. All right, Adam.
James McCann.
I concur. James McCann. Got to have more than a 560 OPS against right-handed pitching. Sorry, just do. Number 2, Adam.
Justin Verlander.
Duh. Sean.
Ian Kinsler.
Okay. Even though he's been worth 2 wins above replacement already.
He's shown
Despite
more
the DL
improvement,
stick.
but he's just. I know you can tell he's been battling an injury, but it's just if you know you're that good of a player, how Ian Kinsler is, you know that you're not feeling 100%. You need to be talking with the coaches and saying, "Hey, I'm not playing healthy. Maybe it would be better for me not to be on the field so I can get healthy, then to help this team."
Okay. My second guy, the big man, Miguel Cabrera. I'm not paying you at all.
Yeah.
The Detroit Tigers are not paying you $28 or $30 million a season, whatever it is, for a sub 800 OPS. Sorry, dude. Get your shit together. He looks like he can't get around on the inside pitch anymore, which is oh shit, because he's still under contract for what, 6-7 more seasons? Ruh-roh. Right. Sean, you're number 3 guy.
Can we go with the GM, Al Avila?
No, we're talking GM and coaching staff later.
Dang it.
This is players, man. Players.
I'm gonna have to go with Maximum Miguel Cabrera.
Okay. Adam, what about you?
Nick Castellanos.
All right.
For everything that you said about OPS.
Mm-hmm.
Sub 800 OPS. I think Nick can do
Better than that.
better than that.
Okay. Fair enough. My next guy is going to be Jordan Zimmerman. Had a nice little 5-6 start run of progress, but his last 2 starts have been gross. So, yep. Not okay. Sean.
My next one is going to be Alex Wilson. You know, before he got put into the setup role, he was doing so great. Put in the setup role, oh my gosh. I think he has like an 8+ ERA since
He does
then.
have an 8 ERA the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, so...
Shane Green does too.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel Cabrera.
Okay. Let's see, who have I not used?
Victor.
Yeah, Victor Martinez. Although I can't really say he's failing to meet my expectations. This is about what I expected. So no, I'm not gonna use him because this is exactly what I expected. He was
Daniel Norris.
Daniel Norris was going to be my next guy. Dan, you're a former top 25 prospect. You're 24. This is your 3rd whirl in the big leagues. 3rd year that you've been partially in the big leagues. you got to start making improvements. You have too good of stuff to be that fucking picky around the strike zone.
What did you say the other day? It was funny.
I forget what it was. I essentially said, just quit being a little bitch and throw strikes or something.
Because it's ironic considering what pitchers are usually told.
Yeah.
Stop trying to be a pitcher, just be a thrower.
Yeah, I did say that. Stop trying to be too fucking perfect and just throw it.
Yes,
Just fucking throw it.
while you still have the opportunity to sit there and blow guys away with a high 90s heat,
You can throw 97 and your changeup is fucking devastating. Oh, yeah. Like, don't fall behind in counts where you have to throw predictable fastballs up in the zone. This is why I think James McCann should never catch him again. I don't care if there's an opposing lefty going out. A veteran needs to be out there calling that game for him.
So you want Alex Avila behind the plate?
I do. Until they trade him. Yeah, I do. I really, really do. All right, so last but not least, number 5, Sean.
I'm probably going to have to go Jordan Zimmerman for sure.
Okay.
God, I don't even know where to start with him, to be honest. You know, he had those, 2 or 3 good starts.
Yeah.
You know, his slider looked great for once.
It was like 5. It was a good run of 5.
Okay.
5 good starts.
Yeah, and then he just lost control again. I just don't understand him. You know, like he's had a very successful career until he came here.
Absolutely. Okay. Adam, what's yours?
You know, I'm going to go with Jacoby Jones, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It's not with this Tigers team. It's not like there's a lot of competition in center field.
Mm-hmm.
I think based on what he has to contend with, Mickey Matuk, Andrew Romine, Tyler Collins,
Alex Presley.
You can't.
How don't you win the starting job out of that?
You at least can't be a platoon player on the 25-man. You're sitting there
floundering in AAA.
Floundering in AAA. It's kind of disappointing. I think he'll be back. I think he'll recover, but I kind of wanted to see that happen this season, given the opportunity of you having not much depth at center field, and that might be a generous way of putting it. So.
Okay. Since we kind of just broke the, I didn't have a rule set for this. We just kind of, I'm going to go K-Rod. I know he's not a member of the organization anymore, but at the same time, just give me like a 4.50 ERA and we can use you, man. You can be a functional mop-up member of an MLB bullpen at your age and experience in the 4.50 ERA. That's all I was asking for. That's all I wanted. You couldn't even give me that.
Couldn't even give you a 5.
Jesus.
He barely gave you a 6.
Could not do a home run in an inning.
And he was such an asshole about all of it.
I'm not doing well in mop-up. I should be closing again.
Okay, yeah, and you get the opportunity to close, and you fucking suck.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very disappointing, and it's, I don't know. I hate guys like that. I hate guys who think that they're still something when they're obviously not.
Yes.
And they demand everything, and it's just not.
It's not okay.
I'm glad they did what they did.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay. Yep. All right. What are we gonna do with this coaching staff, guys? I don't think you can maintain a coaching staff with this level of payroll not making the playoffs. What now? 3 years? It would be 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do? When does the move get made? Because the logical time is tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Or tonight.
Logical time was
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, when they came back from that road trip.
They haven't done it yet. But going forward, this is the next most logical pit stop. What are we going to do?
It has to.
You're doing an interim manager.
Okay.
Out of the organization.
Can I tell you what?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
If it was my choice, Brad Ausmus would have been fired the week.
Okay, it didn't happen.
I know.
What are you doing going forward?
Well, you have to fire Brad Ausmus. You just have to. You bring up Omar Vizquela as the intern manager.
Okay.
Fire Lloyd McClendon. Get him out of there. He's just awful. If he couldn't succeed in Seattle, couldn't succeed in...
He's been a damn good hitting coach, though.
I don't care.
Offense hasn't been this team's problem, man.
Okay, first of all, what have we done since he's been here? We haven't won anything. So why keep all the old faces?
You've also had a top 5 offense every year he's been here as the hitting coach.
I don't care. You gotta change.
Okay,
You gotta
top
change.
5 offense isn't
You
good
gotta
enough for
change.
Shawn.
You ain't winning. You ain't winning. So what's the difference?
That doesn't have anything to do with run prevention.
Which you obviously you've seen this year. We ain't no top 5 offense this year.
They're actually 6th in scoring. But
Okay, so that's not top 5. Because you, for example, you can look at Michael Fulmer. How many games has he lost 2-0, 1-0 this year? At least 3. So you couldn't give him at least 1 run.
I'm trying to find where the Tigers are in the AL in scoring.
Is
They're
there
8th.
is there any way we
they
could
are
have,
8th in scoring?
okay? So is there any way we could have try to convince Victor Martinez we'll pay you for the rest of this year if you just don't
$16 million.
if you don't hit anymore and you just be our hitting coach and our bench coach. How about that?
We're DFA.
Will you be our Jackie Moon, please?
No,
No, I'm kidding about that.
I know.
But no, seriously, I think Ausmus and Lloyd McClendon are the 2 people that need to go.
Okay. I disagree with your assessment on Lloyd McClendon, but it is what it is. Adam, what do you do?
I do too. Sorry, Sean. I'm gonna
It's
I'm
no
gonna
problem.
go. I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with the Lloyd McClendon thing too. Look, I don't know if they need to have Lloyd McClendon back next year. If they want to take a do a whole turnaround of the coaching staff, that's perfectly fine with me. But Brad Ausmus needs to be gone. He needs to be gone tomorrow, despite what happens tonight. What time do they play tonight?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
ESPN.
They had their Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah, despite what happens tonight, I don't care if they go out there and Michael Fulmer throws a no-hitter and the offense puts up 20 runs. Brad Ausmus needs to be gone tomorrow. Mm-hmm. There's zero reason to keep him on any further. If they don't think that Gene Lamont, Omar Vizquel, or Alan Trammell can do a better job than what Brad Ausmus is doing right now, then I don't know what to say. I think if Brad Ausmus is the manager by this time tomorrow, I think the ownership of this team is telling you all you need to know about how they're going to run this team from here on out. Mm-hmm. If Chris Ilitch can't reach into his pocket, write a check to make...
And here's the deal, guys. Brad Ausmus is only under contract till the end of the year.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's not
so you ain't losing anything.
It's not like you have to sit
paying
here.
him for 3. It's not like you're paying him for 3 or 4 extra years to not do anything for you. He's only employed through the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. You're not writing this big check for
in
multiple
baseball, that's
seasons.
effectively firing the guy immediately.
Yeah. And the thing is Brad Ausmus still doesn't have a contract extension. Not many managers in Major League Baseball
make it out of April in the last year of their deal without a contract extension.
Brad Ausmus is the definition right now of a lame duck manager. Mm-hmm. No contract next season. He knows he doesn't deserve a new contract.
Yeah.
The front office knows he doesn't deserve a new contract.
Otherwise, it would have been done already.
Because, exactly. If he did deserve a new contract, then, like Dorf said, he would have got a new contract already, or we would have heard in the paper that Brad Ausmus has been bitching behind the scenes that he wants a new contract. Brad Ausmus knows he doesn't deserve a new contract.
And he knows he's not going to get a new contract.
So what is the point? What is the point going any further along in this season having Brad Ausmus manage this team? There's zero reason for it.
It doesn't make any sense.
And you know what? I don't care who they put in there. I really don't, because it's not going to make any difference. The majority of this team does not have any heart.
No.
They don't care that they're here or not. Put Omar Vizquel, put Alan Trammell, put Lloyd McClendon, put Gene Lamont. I don't give a flying fuck.
Would you be up for the job?
I will. Yeah, I will do it.
I'll do it for free.
Do you guys want to go manage the Tigers for the rest of the year?
You know how fun that would be?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I would. I totally would.
Yeah.
I would be like, Michael Fulmer, can you pitch every single game?
Yeah, and
we're gonna go back to 1945.
What, you're gonna be Dusty Baker on steroids or
yeah,
something?
Pretty much.
Dusty Baker, ruiner of bullpen arms. Yeah. No, I don't think the next manager of this club is currently in there.
Oh no, we've discussed that plenty of times.
I don't think they are either.
They have to go outside and do it. There's no way they have
get
to
some fresh blood, fresh meat.
And the thing is like you bring in the new manager, you're gonna have to let him make his own squad.
Staff, yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of that was a big mistake when they brought in Brad Ausmus to keep the rest of the band together.
Well, I think it was a mistake when they didn't let Chris or whoever, when Al Avila wasn't allowed to get his own manager.
Yeah.
I fail to believe that Al Avila wanted to keep Brad Ausmus as his manager. I don't believe that. I don't believe that in any sense, in any sport, really. Whenever you bring in a new GM, and I know Al Avila wasn't technically, he wasn't outside of the organization. He was the assistant GM to Dave Dombrowski. I don't believe that Al Avila wanted Brad Ausmus here.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to get his own guy, but he wasn't allowed to do that because at the time, Chris Ilitch was running this team, and I think that is a good indication as to how long Chris Ilitch has been running this team.
Because nothing has changed.
No, and if it was Mike Ilitch still running the show, Mike Ilitch didn't want Brad Ausmus to begin with. Mike Ilitch wanted an experienced manager to come in and run the team. But that's not what happened. According to the rumors out there, it was Dave Dombrowski who wanted Brad Ausmus to come in here and manage the team. Didn't work. Already paying him, though. Chris Ilitch doesn't want to waste the money, so he kept him on.
Yep. All right. I really think we're going to skip our next segment. We're going to hold on to that. We're going to leave that in our back pocket until next week. Because it'll be the last time we're on before deadline day.
Okay.
So we're going to hold on to that. And the next topic was going to be about, a MLB trade rumors write-up of Tigers, deadline prospects and what they should be able to do there. Really wasn't much in it, so we'll hold on to that. We'll pocket that. Last but not least, we're going to move on to the last segment of the night. That is the cut room floor. Did anybody see Justin Verlander's quote about yesterday's start?
I didn't. What was it?
It was a positive start, 6 2/3 of 1-run ball. Nice outing, gave its team a chance to win, although the offense got shut out. Analogy for start when asked what he thought about his bounce back start, and said it was like whipped cream on shit.
That's funny.
Should give the poop emoji a little whipped cream swirl on top.
That'd be pretty funny.
Justin Verlander, you could describe that as our season. It's like whipped cream on shit. Fire up the presses, make it a plushie, and start selling that.
With a nice tire hat on top of it. Oh
yeah. You're the graphic arts department. Get on it.
Or a tiger tail coming out the back.
Yeah, get on it. As we previously mentioned, Bo Burrows and Jared Laporte both aced their appearances in the Futures game. That is the two Tigers prospects currently, represented the Futures game. Laporte's second stint, he did not go in. He went in 2015 and now 2017. He did not appear in the 2016 game. Laporte actually was still a member of the Blue Jays at the time. But second appearance for him. Burrows, first time around, dominant inning of work, reaching, I believe, 97 on his final pitch to strike out the guy. I forget who he was facing at the time. Justin Upton and Michael Fulmer head to the All-Star game because Fulmer is pitching today. That means he's ineligible to pitch in the game. Good. Also, Thomas Tatar essentially said to a Slovenian newspaper that if he does not come to an agreement with an extension and arbitration is imposed, this will be his last contract in Detroit.
I believe the arbitration hearing date is July 20th. I may be mistaken on that though, but I
got
10 days.
10 or 11 days to get it done.
Well, less than 11 days.
Yeah. 10 days. Let's call it 10.
10 days. Look, I just one quick thing on this, Dorf.
Sure, absolutely.
I know we posted something earlier today on our Facebook page. Yes, people need to go and look and see what this market is dictating for the type of goal scorer that Thomas Tatar is.
He's a 20 to 30 goal guy a year.
Yes. Between 20 and 30 goals a year. He's been consistently doing that for the past 3 seasons. He's been the Red Wings' most consistent goal scorer the past 3 years. Mm-hmm. Go and look what these guys get out in the open market. These guys get at a minimum $6 million a year. $6 million a year.
Franz Nielsen. What? Does he get $6 million a year from the Wings? Or is it like 5.8?
I think it's like 5.5, I want to say.
Okay. 2 years old deal.
Thomas Tatar is asking for $5 million a year. $5 million.
4 or 5 years.
I believe it's 4. I think it's 4. Go and do it.
Why isn't it done yet? That's not that much.
Well, because they
gave that much to Justin Abdelkader.
Because they don't have the cap space right now. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to, one, put Nicholas Kronwall on the long-term injured reserve. Nicholas, we appreciate your time with us, but you know what? You're probably never going to play another game for the Red Wings again. You're going to go on the long-term injured reserve. Thank you for your service. If you want us to try to work out a deal or
if you'd
whatever,
like to go try and play somewhere else, let us know and we'll try and work out.
Yeah, we'll try to work something out for you. But that's
all we can do.
Yes. And they're going to have to dump some other salary. They're going to have to find a way to dump other salary because you know what? This is where those garbage deals that Ken Holland went and put in front of guys and had them sign.
Stupid not to take what they've been offered.
Yes, this is the Helm deal coming back to haunt you. This is the Applicator deal coming back to haunt you. This is the Erickson deal coming back to haunt you. Hell, this in some sense, because shit like this adds up. This is the Luke Glendening deal coming back to haunt you.
Why are you paying Luke Glendening guaranteed for 5 years?
If you're able to go out and okay, well take the.
Why are you paying 2 goalies more than $4 million apiece?
Dorf, take the 1.8 off of Thomas Tatar's asking price of $5 million per.
Yeah.
Take 1.8 off. Luke
Glendening is costing you Thomas Tatar.
Yes. Look what you could offer because in any sense is Thomas Tatar worth a little over $3 million a season?
Fuck yeah, he is.
Absolutely.
He's worth over 5.
He's worth, according to the NHL market, based on what Matt Duchene, Phil Kessel, what those guys are getting, Thomas Tatar is worth
$5.5 to $7 million.
Yes, he is worth. I'll go ahead and say he's at least worth around 6.
Minimally 5.5, upwards of 7.
Yes, that's what he's worth. And people can argue. People can go out there and say, "Oh, well, he's a streaky scorer. He put up all those numbers when the games didn't mean anything." You know what? It doesn't matter. He still put them up. It doesn't. There's no asterisk or anything like that, or any separate type of some type of separate column for goal scoring that says, "Oh, well, he scored 5 goals when they really meant something, and 10 goals when they didn't mean anything." That's not how this works. He still put up the numbers consistently the last 3 years. And you're going to go and say that he doesn't deserve it? People, if this is your mentality, as a Detroit sports fan or a fan in general, look, people, and I know Dorf has been a big proponent about the argument of athletes getting paid too much money. I know Dorf has gone out and said that that's a bunch of bullshit, which I wholeheartedly agree with him on, because professional sports isn't
in anything you're paid what you're worth.
Yes, it's not real world stuff. If your mentality is these guys aren't worth that amount of money, then you know what? Don't watch anymore. Mm-hmm. Don't watch. Because if you think
your eyeballs are what make them worth that much.
Yes, because you know what? If you think that these guys aren't, if you don't think Thomas Tatar is worth $5 to $6 million a year, then don't watch anymore. Because obviously you think that these guys should be paid, in
average working man wage.
Yes. And that's not how this works. If that's how it was, if that person had that, if Ken Holland had that mentality, then the Red Wings would be at the bottom of the NHL every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You can't do it. You cannot do it. It doesn't work like that. Sorry,
Sports is not real life.
No, it's not.
The sense of what people, no man is worth that much to play a kid's game. They're worth exactly what they're paid.
It's like Narnia.
Because that's what the market dictates.
Yeah.
That's what the market says that these guys are worth.
And you can even argue that athlete salaries are artificially deflated in this world by positional spending limits and salary caps. Because you look at, like, for example, now that the cap is expanded in the NBA, some of these ridiculous contracts. Steph Curry and James Harden are both getting more than $40 million a year. James Harden will make $573,000 a game.
But the thing is, though, Dorf,
and he's worth it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say James Harden is worth it. I'll go ahead.
The guy can't play defense.
Somebody's willing to pay him, therefore he's worth it.
No, you're right. Somebody's willing to pay him. Houston is willing to pay
$573,323 a game or something like that.
Houston is willing to pay that sum of money. So you know what? You cannot blame a guy like James Harden for going and signing his name on that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially he's getting like another $15 million to be the front man for Adidas per year.
LeBron James came out and said that Steph Curry is getting underpaid with his new deal. And you know what?
He ain't wrong.
LeBron James is absolutely right. Based on the market in the NBA, Steph Curry, what he's been able to do with that Golden State team, who was non-existent before Steph Curry
Golden State didn't have a basketball culture.
Before Steph Curry stepped foot on the Oracle Arena floor, Golden State was non-existent. They were non-existent in the NBA. What has Steph Curry done for you since?
Two titles.
Three straight trips to the NBA
arguably,
Finals.
Fourfold increased the value of the franchise.
One of the best shooters that play the game, to be honest. The dude can shoot.
Yeah. He's taken that franchise from an undesirable property to arguably the most valuable franchise in sport in the NBA.
You can make the argument. If it wasn't for Steph Curry, would Draymond Green still be there?
Fuck no.
No.
Would Draymond Green got $85 million?
Yeah. Would
$2 million, sorry.
Would Kevin Durant have gone there?
Taking less. A 2-year deal with 32 or 30?
Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said I think
$34 million.
I think next year's a player option.
You know
or
what
this
he would
upcoming
be getting?
season's good, but
he would be getting the $400, the $40
James
million
Harden
a year contract.
Yeah, Kevin Durant would be living it up right now on the Lakers or wherever. The Clippers, the Rockets. He might even be back in Oklahoma City because who knows? Maybe they fork over, a shit ton of money.
They back
for
up
him.
the literal Brinks truck. Yeah.
But nope.
That is what that guy has done for that franchise, and because of that, he is worth every freaking penny.
No doubt about it.
And you know what? Golden State's probably going to go out and win it again this year.
Oh no,
They're probably going to.
I'd say the next 3 years. Next 3 years, I bet.
I don't know about that because Klay Thompson is a free.
Klay Thompson a free agent after this
But
year.
Klay Thompson, he's just the back shadow of Green and Durant and Curry.
He's the third scoring option.
And Kevin Durant has 2 championships in hand after this. I bet you if Kevin Durant goes out and has another year like he did, and they win a championship, Kevin Durant is opting out. It's time for Kevin Durant to get paid.
He'll probably opt out, but at the same time, he'll leave and go get paid by the Golden State Warriors because the way the NBA contract rules work,
they can
give him the most money.
That could very well be the case. Could very well be the case.
You have 2 $40 million players.
That would be insane.
You can only get a max raise of 20% over your last deal or something like that. I forget what it is. I forget what the rule is. But a max deal is something like that.
It's a lot of money.
All right. That is going to wrap up tonight's show. Motor City Uncut, episode 143, presented by the Major Sports Network Detroit. Don't forget, as we mentioned earlier in the program, we would love your support on Patreon. There's a couple different perks in there, including merchandise and other things for your monthly pledge. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, whatever. We'd love for your support, especially if you enjoy what we do here on a pretty much weekly basis for you. So, for Sean, Adam, I am Dorf. We'll see you guys next week.